The greatest anime game of all time, Assassin's Creed. But what if I beat it with just my fists? Is it possible? Am I able to kill the 9 keepers of the 3 realms with just my fists equipped and nothing else? Let's find out, baby. And since Desmond's totally irrelevant to my challenge, his little mini quest of finding out why Lucy is ugly as shit, his creepy kidnapper who watches him at night, and having nightmares of the current state of Assassin's Creed will be left out.
Bastards!
My main focus will be on Altair, a passive-aggressive, monotone little shit.
Fortune favors your blade.
Not fortune, skill. Watch a while longer and you might learn something.
Whilst I make my way through the caverns, I'll explain a little on what I can and can't do. I won't be eating people to their deaths or into wooden structures, as that's been a little bitch. And my weapons like the dagger or swords will not be used to deflect oncoming attacks. It'll just be me and these hands. But that's when I enter an obligatory stealth assassination. Why is it so loud?
And what is it you want?
Traps.
What did he say?
Robert eats me in disgust, where I get sent home to tell my master, and an invasion happens where Robert and his family show up. Now, in order to defend your scared family, you don't have to fight or kill yourself. You can run all the way to the entrance of the village to trigger the cutscene, where I'm tasked to do my first leap of faith, and my friend hurts his leg. Then I have to initiate a trap with my sword. The men get trampled, but unfortunately, since I exposed myself for my first of traps,
You chose to expose yourself.
my master is not happy. He initiates the bitch slap of death and humiliation, and then sentences me to a biblical no you.
No, you.
Fortunately, my master's no you was only to scare me. I have been demoted to a basic bitch and summoned to do the free task for take up 90% of this game. Grabbing men's butts, spying on people.
Do you know what? It's a good job I wasn't born gay because I don't know what I'd do.
Why not? If you're gay, you'll be loving it.
And casually assaulting men till they submit to me. I have been ordered to kiss and kill the 9 keepers of the 3 realms. The first realm is Damascus, where the game forces you into combat to save the wise elder monks. Fighting with the fist equipped is like practicing to kiss with your dad. I mean, sure, it can be pretty fun, but you're gonna regret it.
Internal bleeding.
Altair decides to pull out his sword whenever he enters combat, so it's a game of using my peripheral vision to make sure the fists are equipped and not the sword. Punching away without a K in the world is a sure way of causing
Internal bleeding.
so I'd eat them as a form of crowd control and take on the last standing guy. The wise elder monks have graced me with their kindness and taught me the ability to pray. In the Damascus realm, I meet the leader of the Assassin's Bureau. To kill my first forgettable keeper of the 3 realms, I must complete at least 3 of the 6 tasks available, which, like I said earlier, takes up the bulk of the game. And they're pretty straightforward, like butt grabbing, eavesdropping,
Oh, I was actually coming out here to pick up a cupcake.
beating people into submission with a chance of our genitals rubbing, and collecting flags. So for the sake of not boring you, I'm going to skip over these encounters as it's pretty... Tamir! This guy's my first target. He's stupid, he's easy,
Give me $200.
and he's only got 1 guard with him. Bap, 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 bap. My next realm is the Akka realm, probably the most sussy assassin bureau leader in all of the realms. Garnier was next on my list. He had an army of crackheads at his disposal. The crackheads are scattered amongst the battlefield and will shove you, which can alert the guards. So 2 things you need to know. Never fight in close quarters, and getting hit takes off 2 health bars. So yeeting them as a way of crowd control really helps, and Altair is impervious to damage during the throw-in animation. Which means I can build up my health and deal some nasty blows and finish him off with one hell of an uppercut to slap the taste out of his mouth. My next realm, Jerusalem, is where I encounter my high school bully, Malik.
Safety and peace, Malik.
Cry in the corner.
But Malik was nothing compared to my hardest opponent in the world, Talal. He had the high ground. He had the men.
You must die.
I'm joking. Talal was a pussy.
Wakey, 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 wakey.
I'm back in Damascus, where my mute brother makes me attend the hottest club in all of Damascus, baby! Where the wine is flowing, the girls are dancing, and the men are, well, the men are gay. So I gave chase, but he definitely had that speed. The targets always stop running once they enter the guard tower. But during our kiss chase, I gave him a few bonks and polished him off with an uppercut.
We are the same.
No, we are nothing alike.
Ah, but I see it in your eyes.
What are these feelings I was experiencing? So I asked my sussy brother about them.
Is everything alright, my friend?
Just a lot on my mind.
It is the men you kissed, isn't it?
Perhaps.
This is to be expected.
I should not fear these feelings.
You should embrace them.
The next keeper is in the Akka realm, and oh yeah, they got that Cedric Diggory type entrance. The problem with William is that he has the awareness of a deaf and blind person, as you can tell. But dealing the uppercut of death is just not feasible with his band of merry men.
You wanna dance, pretty boy?
As of right now in the campaign, the guards are paranoid as shit.
What are you doing?
Me?
So getting to William was all about patience and observing the walking patterns. I watched William like he was my prey, like I was praying for some sort of miracle, until that miracle was answered, in the form of a ladder. In the Acker realm resides a ladder in which the guards get stuck on. I can filter the men in by jumping back and forth on this wall and proceed to beat down every single one of them who chooses to enter my gladiator pit.
Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Fortunately for me, William decides to enter my pit and I slapped him up. He's really not that hard, just a couple of throws and a couple of blows. But there is always someone who bullies the bully.
I am not a novice.
Novice.
I am not a novice.
Novice.
Malik,
Novice.
don't say
Novice.
such
Novice.
things.
Majd Hadin is next on my list. Running in and performing the uppercut of death will get your ass knocked out.
Wakey, 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 wakey. Piece of shit.
I tried using a ladder and kicking the top of his skull. The rocks won't knock Altair off the ladder during the kicking animation. I spent the majority of my time randomly socking him in the jaw, then running away and repeating the process until I murdered him. Majd Hadin was scared to get kissed. I mean, how could he not be?
No.
He held my balls and felt the power from within. Jubaye was next.
want some? I'll give it you.
The roof. Such a wonderful invention. They can be flat, cross-hipped. You can even run on a roof, throw pizza on a roof, fall from the roof, even jump from the roof. But did you know you can trap guards on the roof? I don't really know how this works. Maybe there's an ancient rule out there that the guards don't like curved roofs. Much like the sacred ladder, you can filter the men in one by walking on this wall and walking back. Then proceed to beat down on every single one of them.
Damn, man, look at that. Look.
Until you manage to pull in Jubaye. But I could only punch him a few times before I get slapped up. So I'd eat him back down to recover my health and then repeat the process until I suck on his fingers. Sibrand was my next target.
Because you are not a man of God, but an assassin.
Don't fuck with me! I have the power of God and anime on my side! Wait,
The roof! Such a wonderful... I did the same thing. I realized that this little ramp incline pushes the enemies off, which causes... Except for the target, he doesn't take full damage, unfortunately. The thing with the AI is, they're ugly, they can't scale walls like you, and they can't climb buildings like you. They need to find other ways of getting around. Sibrand can leap off the roof from the other side, where I can slap the sour taste out of his mouth. I then run around to recover my health, since the AI can't run faster than you. Sibrand was also scared to get kissed. I mean, how could he not be?
Please, don't do this.
But he had so many regrets, which led me to my own. I owed Malik an apology, because I was the bully in high school, not him.
There's something I should say. I've been a fool. All this time, I never told you I was sorry. Too damn proud. You had every right to be angry.
I do not accept your apology.
I understand.
I also pay my respects to my favorite victim, Majd Hadin. My balls were just too powerful for him. We have a minute's silence, and then Robert the Sable crashes the funeral. In Jerusalem resides a church. Or does it? On the church, there's a little ramp, incline, column, whatever the fuck this is, messes with the AI and causes 3 different things to occur. They can get stuck, they can become frustrated,
is man, motherfucker, take it out.
or they can fall.
Oh, shit.
Man, I'm dead.
But you need to stand in this spot for the AI to go through it. If you stand anywhere else on this church, it's over. Once all the guards have fallen to their deaths, you can move somewhere else so Robert can enter. Much like Sibrand, I'd give him a few bonks and then run around to gain some health. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's pretty easy, actually. And it was finally time to kiss my last keeper.
What sorcery is this?
Robert the Sable. At the end of this road lays Robert the Sable and his family. But first, you have to beat up an infinite number of... At the end of this road lays Robert the Sable and his family. But first... At the end of this road lays Robert the Sable... I just couldn't do it. They had the men. They had the high ground.
Fuck that.
But I had the grab.
Whoa.
The grab can either throw your enemies and deal like 10% damage, or it can lead to Altair losing the ability to father children. And like I said earlier, Altair is impervious to damage during the throwing animation. But wait, I know what you're thinking.
You couldn't have done that earlier?
Yes, I could, but it's complete cheese. Robert the Sable.
It's not you I've come to kiss.
There's 8 members of his family to fight. Using the absolute complete cheese method, it would take 8 minutes of throwing, healing, getting kicked in the balls, and hearing chanting getting louder and faster. Until Robert joined the fray. And this is the fight of my life. The chanting was getting increasingly loud, my balls are getting increasingly broken, Robert was getting increasingly sexy, and he's dead. Nah, he's actually pretty easy. You just gotta give him a couple of throws and a couple... After taking Robert to bed and claiming his anal virginity, he announced my first ever anime betrayal.
He betrayed you, boy.
Who?
It is your master, Al-Mualim.
My second anime betrayal
Bombastic side eye.
came in the form of my friends. Like the fight with Robert's family, just keep throwing. I found it easier to cluster in the corner so everyone's next to each other, which can be easier to grab and not get stabbed. But I was moving up on the scale of fucking around, which was leading me closer to finding out, until I realised something. I don't got friends, I got family.
Altair! Up here!
Because whether it's a quarter mile away or halfway around the world, we'll always be fam. Malik forgive me, and we were brothers once more. Now it's time for the old man. Now it's time for a different old man. Now it's time for the old man.
Deep throat me.
Al-Mualim chants come and spawns in the OG keepers of the 3 realms. There's nowhere to run or hide in the gardens, so I clustered them all in a corner and kept throwing them until I gave them a happily ever after. But then Al-Mualim stopped chanting come and did the impossible.
I will miss you, Altair.
The sacred +4.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on.
This fight was by far the longest, even with the cheese method. The tougher the opponent, the more times they will kick you in the balls. Here's a graph showing who's the hardest opponent. As you can see from the graph, he's the hardest. For every 1 grab and throw, I'd get kicked in the balls on average 4 times. Here's a graph for the evidence. Al-Mualim had me suspended in animation and spoke the 2 words that causes
Internal bleeding.
No, you.
But I learned my lesson from the last time.
No, you. No, no.
We were now at a stalemate.
No.
So it was time to duke it out like men. And this is gonna be the fight of our lives. But for some reason, he just stands there and takes my blows. He then teleports away. He laughs as he strips me of my HUD and health. And 1 hit will kill. Because Altair equips his sword anytime he enters combat, plus the fact that Altair doesn't do that stupid shit that later assassins do, which is deflect with their greaves, so I'd focus on grabbing and throwing him until my HUD and health came back. And this is gonna be an all-out brawl. It's gonna be the fight of our lives, and he's dead. Al-Mualim just stands there and takes his beating. I don't know why he does this. I complete a tale as old as time.
The student does not defeat the teacher.
And then sentence him to a biblical no you.
No, you.
Wow, what an emotional journey that was. I'm sad. Anyway, thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Bye, have a beautiful time.